Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I hope good. I was pulling a couple cards for myself. I'm getting ready to go run some errands, and I really like the messages, so I wanted to share them with you. The first card I pulled from the Mindful deck was called Worth, and it says, "You're being asked to honor your worth. It can be so easy to feel that we aren't good enough or worthy of happiness. This simply isn't the case. However, you are worthy and you have inherent value. It is time to cherish yourself and see your true worth." I wanted to share it because I know a lot of us are going through stuff, as I talk about, with what's going on in the world right now, with our own problems, with our own trauma that we might have been dragging around, or baggage we've been dragging around. And I know a lot of people need to hear some positivity. So I wanted to do one more. I pulled an inner child card. So this one was 22, Let It Come Forth. I don't know if you can really see it, but give yourself permission to feel it. Many things occur in life that we may be unable to process, and most, if not all, of these processed events and emotions can be stored inside of us. If you have pulled this card, then it might mean there is a repressed emotion, memory, or aspect of the self that is hindering you in your current situation. As repressed emotions can subconsciously fuel many of our behaviors and interactions with the world, it can be beneficial to explore this. So that's kind of what I talk about all the time is the belief clearing and holding in those stored emotions, and they're actually being stored in our bodies. So in a way, when we get triggered by something, it's not necessarily our mind. So it's not like when people say, that was when you were a child, get over it, you're an adult now, it's time to take responsibility for yourself. We've all heard all of those things from people, and it's people that don't understand or haven't suffered chronic trauma, either childhood or adulthood, because they don't realize that our body chemistry, our nervous system, and our brain are working together. And what happens is something triggers us. You hear a door slam or something, and then your whole body goes into this whole thing. You can't talk today. You secrete hormones like why can't I think today? Complete blank. Hold on. Thankfully, I have notes because as I'm learning things, I'm writing it down. Okay, so a door slams, your ears send the sound signal to your brain, and then the amygdala checks for danger and recognizes similarity to past threat and sounds the alarm. So that's the thing. There might not be a threat, that someone slammed a door by accident. But if that was something, loud noises, slamming doors, screaming, fighting, I went through a lot of that as a kid, hiding in closets and stuff, holding my ears because I didn't want to hear people fighting and arguing, drinking alcohol. You know how if you're watching me, you're probably been through some of it. And when you're hearing that stuff as a kid, it was already triggering things that happened when I was even younger. I remember the age I was doing, hiding in closets. So your hypothalamus will receive your alarm, turning on your emergency response and activating the stress hormones. So that's when your adrenaline is released. That's what I couldn't remember, the word adrenaline. Cortisol is released, your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tense, your stomach tightens, and that's when fight, flight, freeze, and all of that activates. So literally, you hear the door slam, your ears hear it, your amygdala says, uh-oh, we've heard this before, there's danger. Where our body's now releasing the cortisol and the adrenaline, and the hippocampus searches for memory, trying to pull danger instead of safety. So instead of automatically and this is all happening as the door is slamming, all of this obviously is happening in that moment. So instead of saying, okay, we're safe, it was a door slamming, this is already in motion. And your hippocampus now is saying, okay, well, I'm going to search for stuff about when things went wrong as well. So it's all working together. Your prefrontal cortex is the last one that comes in, and that's trying to reason. So is this just a door, overriding your body because the body's already in survival? So your reaction's fast, automatic, and you're not conscious of decisions you're making at that moment. So that's where I talk about, not when people say that, stop blaming others for your problems, or, stop, maybe you're old enough to make better decisions. If you've been in fight, flight, or freeze and trauma your entire life, chronic trauma, your brain, all of this is happening before you get a chance to realize that you're not in danger or that something's not wrong. And that's why sometimes, like I say, people get triggered in relationships and everything. Someone comes home late, and the next thing you know, well, they're cheating because you might have been cheated on before. So that's not you being ridiculous. That's literally your body is causing it all, because your brain is trained for trauma, to watch for trauma, to watch for, someone fighting, to be alert, to protect yourself. So, we become hyper vigilant. And I noticed that it's even more lately, since I've started releasing a lot of baggage and a lot of stuff that I know I don't need to handle. And when I say released, like I say, I do a lot of shadow work, journaling. And when I say shadow work, it's just allowing things to come up that affected me, and then writing about it, journaling about it. Every question you could think around it, is this statement true? How did it make me feel? Am I still carrying it today? If it happened as a child. And as you're writing it out, you're releasing it, and you're becoming aware. And I talk about self-awareness, mindfulness. So now you're becoming aware of your reactions. And that's where people say, well, I can't seem to forget about anything. You're not. You're not going to forget a memory or something that tragic that happened to you, but what you can do is remember that you have control over your actions, over how you react to anything. And it's all together. It's a lot of work, but the trauma, when that thought comes up, you're going to react. I mean, like I said, until you really release it and start training your body to realize that you're safe. But there's a couple things that you can do if you're in that moment. You realize you overreacted, and do the hand on your chest and one on your stomach, and take some deep breaths. And a lot of times you can do this, putting your hand right here in the middle of your forehead and almost covering your eyes, or covering your eyes completely if you can, triggers a safety mechanism in your brain. So it automatically will tell you I'm safe, and you can even say that. And I always say too, you can hug yourself. You can hug yourself if you're alone, obviously. Think people are going to think you're a crackpot if you're doing all of this in front of them and they don't know what you're doing. So it's when you can, if you feel safe. If something happens and triggers you and you're not in a safe place, you can automatically just keep, the self-awareness. This isn't bad. This isn't happening. I'm safe. Like before I would go into, say a party or something, I'd be a wreck. They're not going to like me. They're going to this is going to happen. This one might be there, and I'm going to be, you play all these scenarios out in your head, because that's your brain, that's your trauma, and that's your brain regardless trying to protect you. If one thing happened to you when you were 10 years old and now you're 22 and you're going into this situation, and you feel that thing in your stomach, and you feel, because your brain is like, uh-oh, this happened when we were 10, and I need to alert you, and I need to save you, and when you didn't need saving from that situation. So that's kind of how it all works. But like I said, I do have to run, so I want to just talk about, what did I want to talk about? Did I read that card? Let it come forth. Oh, okay, so I didn't do the exercise because I got yapping, so I apologize. So the inner work exercise is one of the ways we deal with overwhelming emotions is by storing them within our physical body. We can access these trapped emotions through physical intuitive movement. For this practice, feel your body and move how you feel led to move, particularly focusing on any area that feels as if it's under pressure. So if you need to punch in the air, go for it. If you need to scream or dance wildly, go for it. As you practice this exercise, try to surrender to how your body needs to move. Try to withhold judgment and practice this exercise alone in a dimly lit room. If you're having trouble letting go, be gentle with yourself. This can be a heavy practice, so please only continue if you're comfortable working with and releasing stuck and repressed emotions. If you feel as though you need further assistance in this practice, contact a professional. And I always say that as well. And a journal response, journaling. Ask yourself if there is anything that needs to be spoken aloud and released. Write down what comes forth, observing it without judgment, and proceed to speak aloud with what needs to be spoken. So again, this can be heavy and this can be hard. When I wrote my book, I don't have it out, Turning Wounds into Wisdom, and when I started all of this stuff here, it is heavy. It was very, very emotional. Writing the book, there's even parts that I always want to make sure people realize too. There's parts left out. I leave you hanging as far as things with my father and my brother, because it was so traumatic writing it, and I was trying to get it out there. I had so many people that I have been saying I'm writing a book and they wanted to read it. I got excited, and I realize now it's not there. So I always say too, I'm working on my memoir, and eventually I'll have that out. But it's not easy work. So if you're trying to release trauma and you're trying to heal, just know that go get professional help if it's too much on you. Don't do this on your own. If you're in a really bad state and you're extremely depressed, don't do these shadow work activities. But do try to be mindful so that you can change those thoughts and rewire them. Our brains get rewired when we're children and we go through trauma. And if you're an adult, our brains are still forming until I believe the age of like maybe 22. I know it's older than we ever imagined. I never realized that. So if you're carrying all of that for all those years, it obviously wired you while you were learning. You're born and you don't know anything yet. It's all data, all that data is put inside your head. So, but if you even dealt with some things as an adult, it's not easy, but if you follow me, reach out to me. I know a few people have, and I promise I will get to you. It's been a hectic time for me in my life, and I'm trying to reach out and help everyone else at the same time, because that's how I work. I feel like if I just sit back and stay in my own crap that I'm dealing with, then again, nothing's going to get anywhere, because now I'm, and this is happening and stuff. That's all you do to yourself. Stay positive. Everything's going to work out. Everything always works out. Out of this situation, only good will come. And you say that, regardless if it's the truth or not, because eventually it will be. So last, I just wanted to pull real quick an animal spirit card. And this one is the dog. Dog friend. Today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration, and I choose to be happy, and I am a protector and a friend. So again, every day it's a choice. You choose to get up and allow whatever is going on, guide you through your day and be miserable. See or read something that upsets you and now drag that to work with you and bring everyone else's day down, or go in and be happy and positive. And it doesn't mean things aren't happening. It means at that moment, I can't fix it. I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to be happy. You decide, you choose. We have so much more power over our minds than we believe. We really do. So I will try to do another video again later when I have a little more time, but I really wanted to share those messages with you guys. All right. Have a good day. Make it a good day. Bye.